Alright, hi guys. Eli here. Decided that I wanted to do an updated, I don't know, I guess rigging video on my kayak, the Cuda 14 by Jackson Kayak. The last kind of rigging thing that I did was about 2 years ago, and it's just a post. So I wanted to do this. This will be on the rigging page as well. And I'm also going to do one on the Cruise 12, which I have sitting right over here. Just got to rig that up in a few minutes. So anyway, yeah, so we'll get started on this one. I got the Cuda 14. I've had a Cuda 14 since 2012. I did get this new one at the beginning, or at the end of last year, the beginning of the new model year for 2015. So got a custom color on this one. Like it a lot. Been using it for the past few months, and did change a little bit of the rigging on it, so I'm going to kind of go over it. Some of the things that I did the same, the anchor system on this one is the same, as well as the silent traction system. So I did have this on the old kayak, it is on the old post, and I went ahead and added it to this one because I do use the rod tip protector to slide the paddle in like it is here. So I want to have that silent traction there. I've also got the silent traction on the rod stagers as well, right here, and same thing over there. Anchor system that I have on it is one that we do at Pack and Paddle. It's called the Shoe Pick anchor system, named after the guy who kind of showed it to the guys at Pack and Paddle, and that's his forum handle at least. So the idea with the Shoe Pick system is you have two anchors, one on the front of the boat, which you see right here, and then one on the back of the boat as well, and then you have cleats near the seat. And what that allows you to do is drop two anchors at one time to get a really good position, or to drop them one at a time if you feel the need to do that. So there you go. The way I've got this one rigged up, I've got pulleys on both ends near the kayak, and then right here I've got cleats right here by the seat, and they're just standard wedge cleats. So I can pick it up like that and just let it go, and it wedges itself in. Alright. Moving on from the anchor setup, I'm going to show you the crate setup that I'm using. I was using a black pack by Yak Attack for a while. I've moved back to using a standard milk crate, and my reasoning for that is because I wanted more room in the tank well, and the black pack being as big as it is, it does offer you a lot of storage, but it does kind of take up a lot of room. So went back to using just a standard milk crate, and I've got a little like binder bag that you would use for pencils and stuff, but I've got it holding my tactical clips, some bug repellent, some more tactical clips, the little CPR badges that we use, and then some gulp. Tackle down here. One thing that's important that a lot of people don't think about is having a first aid kit on your kayak. So you never know what could happen, so it's good to have one. Also have 3 rod holders on it. One's for a net, like you see right here, and then the other 3 or 4 my rods. I've also got the scissors right here, and then for sight casting I use the, I did a post on it before, but I'm going to show it. This is my paddle clip belt, and great tool for sight casting. Moving on to the middle hatch here on the Cuda. This is the one thing about the Cuda that people either love or they hate about it, but I love it. I love having it here. I do have the little cell phone holder, the X Grip, I think is what it's called by Yak Attack. Got that right there. I do have the light installed on here. I've only ever used it once, but it is kind of useful to have. Inside, I am currently using the tray. For tournaments, I will put the Jackson bag, cooler bag down in here, and that's where I'll keep my drinks and stuff, and then behind the seat I'll have a fish bag, but normally I don't keep fish, so there's no point in having anything down in there. But I do keep the tray right here. I put my my measuring board right there, my Lucid fish grips down in there, there's some extra baits and stuff, the GoPro head mount, my Yak Attack Visi Carbon Pro, and then my Tag Louisiana tagging kit right there as well. All that stuff is, I just keep it right there. When I catch a fish, I open the middle hatch up, take the board out, tag the fish, do all that good stuff. So yeah. Now I don't have a fish finder set up on the kayak currently, but I did have one set up for a little while, a few months ago. I do have the 2 plugs right here to run the cables in and out of, and I will be putting another one on here. Right now I'm waiting to upgrade it. But so yeah, this one, I had all the cables inside the kayak. This one right here was running up to the screen, which I had mounted right here. This one down here I have running to the scupper hole, and I was doing a scupper mount. Even though the scuppers on the Cuda aren't designed for the scupper mount like they are on the big rig and the Cuda HD, it does work out quite well, and the transducer does stay tucked up enough underneath the boat so that it doesn't get too scratched up or anything like that. So I found it worked out really well. On my old kayak I had it mounted shooting through the hull, which worked out alright, but it just didn't give you an accurate water temperature reading, which is one of the important things that I wanted to use it for in the winter time. And then down here, the scupper makes like a little pillar down here on the inside of the kayak, and I have the battery. When I do have it rigged up, I've got the battery mounted right there, kind of zip tied to it in a little holding thing, and it works out really well. Put that back. One more thing, just kind of I've noticed people asking about this. These foam blocks that are down in here are not supposed to be taken out. Some people think that they're there just for shipping and that you can take it out once you have the kayak. It's highly advisable that you keep it in there. It is for structural support so that the plastic doesn't kind of fall in on itself, which is unlikely that it would happen, but just in case, you don't want to do anything to cause that to happen. So yeah, we'll move on to the GoPro setup real quick. So I do have a GoPro setup up here in front of me. That one, it depends. Sometimes I'll have it shooting video. A lot of the time I'll just make it so that it's shooting photos. It's only been recently that I've started doing photos on the GoPros, and I've found that they shoot really nice photography. So I've started using them in that way. But I've got one set up right here, and then behind the seat in the rod holder, this is the only factory rod holder that I'm using. I've got the GoPro set up right there, and I've got it set up using the Targus monopod that you can buy from Walmart. I like it because it gives you the option to do the telescoping thing, which is cool. I can turn the camera on and then telescope the pod out, and have the camera up here. So that's kind of cool. I like it. One thing that people ask me all the time about using a GoPro on the water is the fact that the battery doesn't always last as long as you'd like it to. And they go, so how do you turn it on and you know that you're going to catch a fish? Well, I don't. What I do is I turn it on and I leave it on. And on the inside of this thing, I've got a few extra batteries right here. And then I've got this thing, this Tenergy charging station. So the way that this works is I plug it into the wall before I head out. Where it says in, that's where it plugs into the wall. And you can hook up any USB style powered device, so an iPhone, iPad, cameras, you know, charging things like this kind of deal. And this thing will hold a charge. I can't remember exactly how long it'll hold a charge for, but I've used it to power up batteries, and I can get a full day's worth of GoPro footage from this thing. So I tuck that down in there. When I need to, I'll take the batteries and I'll just kind of plug it up in there and then turn the device on, and it charges up the battery, and then I can use a battery in the GoPro, in both of the GoPros, while one is charging, and then I have these pre-charged before the day starts. And then as I'm using them throughout the day, like say this one comes out of the camera, I'll put it in here upside down so that the sensors, our contact points, are sticking up, and then these are down, so I'll know which ones are charged and which ones are waiting to be charged. So yep, kind of cool. And I'm using a Pelican case with that. I think it's the 1200 size. I think it's made for a handgun, but that's all right. I'm using it for this, and it works out well. It is waterproof. So sweet. That's the setup as I'm using it right now on the Cuda 12. So hope you enjoy, and I'll be posting one for the Cruise 12 in just a little while.